And here
we
go.
Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod.
What's up, everybody? This is The Quad with Chris Young. As always, I am Chris. We got Haley the Bear.
Hello.
Producer Josh.
Good morning.
And joining us remote today, Ryan from Miami.
One of the only things that I like about moving is you discover things while unpacking. I found a signed Ricky Williams football. Isn't that pretty cool? There you go.
Dude, that's awesome.
There you go.
I also have been moving.
Ooh.
I went through my entire house, which, by the way, the last time that I moved, now I'm going to absolutely blame this on 2020. Like,
Sure.
half of everything else that gets blamed on 2020. But when I moved from my condo to the house I'd been living in up until last week, I wasn't really that concerned about getting everything out because I'm like, I've got plenty of time. I still own the condo, I own the house. Like, I'm in a really lucky position that I can take my time getting the stuff out of those things. And then 2020 happened and we got stuck at home. So I accumulated like all of this stuff that was like in boxes that never got unpacked. And then boxes got stacked on top of that. And then everything got ordered via Amazon for the next 12 months. And then clothes and stuff got thrown everywhere, and we would come in for a photo shoot and I'd be like, I got to turn around and get on the bus. And so I would just leave stuff laying there. So I amassed this huge pile of stuff, and it was so daunting. I would just stare at it and be like, I know I need to like go section by section and do this, but I just don't have the bandwidth for it. I've got too much going on. And I would always like push it to the back of my mind. So I went through like everything top to bottom in that house. I threw away or donated or just gave away probably 50 bags of like clothes trash, stuff that I don't use, stuff that's been broken. I found CDs from pitch meetings from like 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Yes.
I found all kinds of stuff. I found like the one cool thing was I did find a couple sports things that I didn't realize that I had that are going in the new house. And I did find, like, I was like, man, I kind of want new plates, right? I sort of got cheap plates the last time. It's like, I'm built in this new house. I want to have like nice plates. The silverware, whatever. Like, people don't really do.
They're not judging you.
No one's judging you by your silverware anymore when they come to your house. They're just not. It's somebody out there is cringing right now. They're like, what? Well, here on Martha's Vineyard,
We use the stainless steel only.
Why did I just use like an old Southern accent?
And also from Martha's Vineyard,
Yeah, I
like
know.
not even close to each other.
I know. I'm sorry about me.
It's like, you want to go up to the Cape?
Yeah, exactly.
If Martha's Vineyard Silverware would like to sponsor the podcast, we will not refuse.
Here we
Just
go.
so-
Right? Send us all the wine.
So anyway, I did go through and I found like an old gift card that's still valid for like Williams Sonoma that somebody had given me for my birthday. That was like a couple $100. I'm like, hell yeah! Like, I won't go buy plates with this. That might get you like 2 plates at Williams Sonoma. I have no idea.
It's half a plate.
Half a plate. I could put a plate on layaway for $200. But no, it was really, really good. So Ryan, are you done with your move, or are you still mid move?
Are we ever really fully done with moving?
I got to a point where I am done. Like, the stuff is in the storage unit until the house is completed.
Done. Everything is moved. My old place is gone, so I do not have access to that any longer. However, there are many things from Amazon arriving today that need to be built, and I'm not very good with tools, so this will be quite the experience. But
So what you're saying is I need to fly down to Tampa and help you build stuff.
When you're saying that you have to build it,
yeah.
do you mean just like putting things into slots together?
Is this IKEA furniture building, or is this like building?
Both are one and the same to me.
I mean, look, all
Both
I'm
require
hearing
effort and
is
tools.
all I'm hearing is bring like some A wrenches and a flathead and a Phillips head and just go down there, help you build this stuff in the afternoon, then go out on the ocean. That's
what
all
I'm saying.
I mean,
look, we can build in the morning and then boat day in the afternoon. I feel like that's a perfect way to spend our days. Just saying.
Throw a Rays game in there.
Yeah,
yep, we can do that too.
Right.
Hold on, back up. Haley, you know there is no wine country on Martha's Vineyard, right?
Nope.
I was gonna let that go.
I couldn't.
I don't even really. I just know the term Martha's Vineyard.
Do you
What
even
is
know
it?
where it is in the country?
No.
Okay. It's up near Boston.
See, I would have said the Northeast. I know it wouldn't have been on the West Coast, but
Yep. Okay.
someone from my work recently was going up to Martha's Vineyard, and that's the only reason why I know about it.
There is a liquor store called Martha's Vineyard, which is completely not related to
in any way, shape, or form related to.
But there is no wineries.
No.
It is, by the way, according to our friends at Google, it is a Massachusetts island that sits in the Atlantic just south of Cape Cod, a longtime New England summer colony. It encompasses harbor towns and lighthouses, sandy beaches, and farmland. It's accessible only by boat or air.
There you go.
Don't call it a vineyard.
Don't call it a comeback. All right, before we dive into what we talk about every single week here on the pod, Ryan, do you want to get to the poll from last week and tell us what the results were?
Yep. Love polls. We are such a big fan of polls here at the Quad with Chris Young.
To
and
be
the
fair,
best thing
normally
is
to be fair, I normally make fun of Ryan at this point for not having the poll up, but we did do like a huge like left turn into moving.
we did. All right. So our hot take poll from last week was, what is the best card game? And a smashing victory for Uno at 53.6%.
Uno is number one.
Absolutely.
All right, what were the rest of the rankings?
Poker was second at 18.9%, so significantly behind Uno, followed by
poker, by the way.
blackjack and spades. So,
Yeah, I love it. Spades was last. You come on.
Yeah.
Some of you guys need to play
Spades was last.
You're too busy playing Uno.
Phase 10.
That's a good one, though.
I like
that was a
Phase
good
10.
one.
Phase 10 was like a running bus game for a while.
It should be noted, Monopoly Deal is,
oh my God.
incredible.
By the way, have you guys played the Monopoly like
The
online?
online one? I haven't. Monopoly Go,
Evidently,
right?
it's very bad to start it because Monsell, my videographer, if you guys watch on YouTube for the Quad, he does all of our editing here. He does all of my video editing on the road. But Monsell, he said his family group chat went from talking about like all family stuff to only talking about Monopoly Go.
Oh my God.
It's like that's all they talk about now is Monopoly. So yeah, pray for Monsell.
Incredible.
I don't even know if I could mentally handle the idea of only talking about Monopoly.
I
It's
could.
a lot.
I
It's a
hate
lot.
that game so much.
All right, let's go to music.
Music.
I love that I have chart update in here because once we moved the podcast earlier, I very rarely get the chart this early in the day, so I can't really update anybody until it's like a week later.
It's like 11 o'clock is when it comes out. Yeah.
It's still like sitting right outside the top 10, about to be top 10. So looking for you, doing great things. Also, Young Love and Saturday Nights, just going crazy out there. Thank you guys very much for loving that song. It's been really weird. Like I introduce it and people like
They already
cheer
know
for it. I'm like, but it's not. It just came out.
Like, but this is new. And they're like, no, we know it. We love it.
We know this song. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play on stage. Speaking of being on stage, Porter the dog met Gavin DeGraw last weekend.
Oh,
How was that?
It was awesome.
We saw the video of Gavin pulling you up on stage.
Yeah, he did that. I was People were like, "You look like you didn't want to go out there." I was like, "Well, it's his moment. Like I'm playing later on in the day. I wasn't trying to like impede on his set. I just wanted to go watch Gavin play because it's been a while." By the way, if you guys are bored and you want to go look something up and go down a YouTube rabbit hole, go check out the Crossroads I did with Gavin.
Oh,
Very,
it's
very cool.
so good.
And that also was like right before 2020, so it's like one of those things that kind of gets forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like yesterday. That's crazy,
dude. Oh,
was that 2019? Was that 19?
Yeah, you want to see it was crazy. Like, go look at what I look like in that versus now, with the amount of weight that I've lost.
It was 2 days before Christmas, because right after he went and did the Macy's parade.
It was that is the one
Thanksgiving, not Christmas.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. That is the one negative. Is I was watching it going, I was a little puffy there.
It's a really fun one because at some point, I don't remember which song it was. He does a vocal run, you do a vocal run. He tries to come back at you, you go back at him, and it's just this like amazing moment.
I mean, he's a great singer.
Yeah, you both are. It was a great match.
It was really fun being on stage with him. So it was good to catch up with him. Big shout out to Ohio. That was WGAR. That's their.
Who is it? Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Oh, it just says Bears training camp buzz.
No, that's not breaking
Silence
news.
that. Ugh.
Silence. No, big shout out to Ohio. We did WGAR's big festival that they did. Gavin was on it. Tiger Lily was on that show.
Yeah, Tiger Lily Gold.
Yeah, I forget. I have to add gold at the end now.
Yeah, due to licensing problems with Disney.
Yeah, right.
Love that.
I was about to say thanks a lot, Disney.
Thanks, Disney.
But it was incredible. Great crowd. Thank you guys so much for all the love, hanging out with us all day, because that was a long festival too. It was a long day, and people were there all day long from like 1:30 till I don't think I got off stage till 11. That was a long day.
That is.
Caught up with Catlin. You know him. Mm-hmm. He's playing for BK now.
Really?
Yeah, so he's playing guitar for BK. Catlin, amazing writer, guitar player, has played on a bunch of my stuff that Corey and I have done together. Mm-hmm. So it was cool to catch up with everybody, just kind of have a day where it wasn't a million degrees, because I got back to Nashville and it was immediately 100 again, is triple digits. So hopefully it's not triple digits where you are, Rye.
Oh, it's hot. I did a little boat day yesterday, and it's a little scorcher. Yeah.
Do you know what temperature it was, Ryan?
It was 97, feels like 106 yesterday, I think is what it was.
Okay. He just went, it's hot.
It's hot.
Your current temperature update right now for St. Petersburg, Florida is 90 degrees right now, and we'll go up to a high of 94 today.
Evidently, it was raining in Nashville while I was gone, so I had
non-stop raining. It's like 70, a gloomy, depressing time here in Nashville.
No idea. I wasn't here yet.
I know. I had 75 degrees and beautiful and big crowd of people singing country music.
It's gonna rain. It's gonna thunderstorm today. It's gonna rain Wednesday. It's gonna rain Thursday.
It's gonna rain.
Where were you, by the way?
Everywhere. Carbondale, Illinois. We had a hometown show in Kansas City in Bonner Springs at what I will always call Sandstone Amphitheater no matter what. And by far, and it's no surprise because Chiefs Kingdom was the loudest crowd of the entire tour so far.
Oh my God.
It was small but mighty.
It was small but mighty. Stop it.
There were people were partying. It was a lot of fun. It made me very proud to be from Kansas City. I treated all of my crew guys to some Joe's KC barbecue. Had the runner go pick that up and bring it back to us. It was delightful, and it's been hot as hell this entire tour, and I'm just praying.
Speaking of Josh,
yes, sir.
You transitioned me. I got you a gift that I was going to present to you in person. However, it is a Joe's Kansas City barbecue koozie.
Let's go.
I got when I was there. So that is coming your way, buddy.
Okay, I have a question. How many people really use koozies anymore?
I love koozies.
I'll put it with my other ones that I don't use.
I use them on boats.
I'm not. Wait, that. By the way, that's not a shot at you. I can see behind the laptop in our podcast room right now. There are
The quad podcast
quad
koozies.
podcast koozies. Go grab one. Like, come on. Like
Also,
these exist.
quad pod squad tanks.
Yeah, we sell them in merch. Everyone does. Like
We all use them,
everywhere
which is why
does.
you should buy them. We all use them. Which is why you should buy them.
I'm asking. Oh, what was that?
Nothing.
That was liquid death. That's what that was.
That was 5 games of basketball this morning.
You should be drinking core water. That's
I would love to. Hey, Core Water,
right
you are
there.
both delicious and perfectly balanced with pH, and we would love for you to sponsor us.
I don't think you thought this through.
I'll take one.
There we go. There we go.
Nice.
I will use this koozie now. Boom. There you go.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I mean,
so,
again,
so comfortable. I forgot how much I love these.
no, I wasn't trying to downplay Ryan's gift or the fact that we have them for sale. I sell them on the road for just my merch. It is a thing that I just don't. I never use one. I see other people using them all the time. I'm just asking, am I the odd man out here?
You're not, but maybe we make a concerted effort this year. Just more koozie.
Let's bring back koozies. Let's bring that back. Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
koozies great again.
Make
I mean-
koozies great again.
I used to use them all the time, but that was back in Florida when I'd be at like the beach or the lake more often. On a boat.
Maybe it's a geographical thing, you know? Who knows?
Maybe. All right. We're going to do a very quick round of what are you listening to before we move out of music. Shout out to just completely random for a music thing. It always is the most random with him. Trent Tomlinson called me this morning at like 8:15.
Of course he did.
I'm like, what? Why are you calling me at 8:15? I wake up, calling back. I'm like, what? He goes, oh, you sound like you're still asleep. And I'm like, well, I've got a podcast at 9:30, so yeah, I'm about to like get out of bed and feed my dog and put clothes on. He's like, oh man, I've already been in the gym this morning. I'm like, first of all, I haven't spoken to you in a month, and you just called me at 8:15 in the morning. I'm like, what do you need? And he goes like, do you know a cello player? So.
Does it still need one? Because I got one. For
Yeah,
him.
I know. I was going to ask you
Yeah.
after we got done.
Yeah.
He's looking for a guy to play cello on. He's doing, I guess, his own version of Where I Go When I Drink.
Oh,
for
cool.
a project that he's doing.
Great. I
Which is
have just the guy.
He's got Gordon Moat playing on it today.
I got just the guy for it.
Perfect. So there you go, Trent. We got you, bud. But what are you listening
But wait
to?
until 9 a.m. to call people.
Yeah,
Come on, my guy.
I mean, look, I'm normally awake at 8 a.m. now, but still.
I don't want to talk to people. man.
Yeah, I'm like making coffee or breakfast at that point. I mean, we're not. Come on, somebody out there that like they have to get to their job at 7 a.m. is cursing me right now. Sorry.
100%.
I am still not quite sure how to deal with this. For my what are you listening to this week? It is the Sweater Song by Weezer,
A classic.
which it's called Undone.
It's called Undone.
Yeah.
The sweater song.
It's the Sweater Song, and you have never heard this.
No,
You monster.
I am a bear.
Not even,
Rawr.
we haven't had it in a while. How have you not heard it like at a grocery store or someone played it on the
to destroy my sweater? You've never
Whoa,
heard that?
whoa, whoa.
You've never heard that.
Maybe I have. It's just not coming to mind right now.
Are we getting old?
Well, yeah, yes. It is the short answer for that.
Is this it?
I'm old too. Calm down.
How old are you?
38
Yeah, there it is.
and a half.
And I.
August makes it a half. Ugh.
Ugh.
I'm about to be 32.
How? Not once. We can't play it. I would play it for you right now to
No,
try to
I mean,
jog your
I
memory.
could sing my version of it, but that is. We're gonna play it after the podcast. There's no way you haven't heard this song. Anyway, that is. If you have also not heard this song, you need to listen to that one. It's a good one. So, Josh,
Down a little nostalgic rabbit hole this morning on the way to the gym to play basketball. Played way too many games of basketball. 19 You and Me by Dan and Shay.
Oh.
Just it popped up on the playlist and was singing along by myself at 6:45 in the
That was
morning.
their very first single, right?
Think so. Was that
I
the
want to
first?
say it was.
I don't know. Either way, a jam.
I'm going to go with Usher, Summer Walker, and 21 Savage mix, and it's called Good Good, because, you know, sometimes you're good, but sometimes you're good, and sometimes you're not good. Song called Good Good.
Poetry in motion.
It's just a phrase that...
Should we write a song called Bad Bad? Because sometimes you're bad, and sometimes you're bad. And sometimes you're bad.
And sometimes your dad's bad.
Bad.
And sometimes if you're Porter, sometimes you're a bad boy.
And if you're Usher, you've got it bad.
Yeah. Speaking of, just sidebar. So if you were in Nashville last night on Music Row, I'm not going to specify where, but if all of a sudden you heard someone yelling at their dog and recalling their large German Shepherd, and it scared the crap out of you because you were walking your small dog, I'm very sorry.
Sorry about that.
Because all that this poor girl saw was my dog saw. Let me do Porter's version first. I was grabbing something out of the office, and I had him off leash, and he's got good recall, and there was like no one around, right? So I'm like, okay, it's fine for me to just run and grab this. And I was looking at something, and in the process, I took my eye off him for a split second, and in that split second, out of nowhere, this tall blonde girl is walking her dog and just happened to get within his range of vision, and all he saw was, ooh, friend. And he takes off in the dark across a parking lot, 115-pound German Shepherd, towards this girl and her dog.
Which would have terrified me if
I
it was
see
me.
him immediately call him and stop him to come back. She freaks out. It's like, ah. He immediately comes straight back to me, to his credit. Like, he's a good boy. But it scared the crap out of her. So if that was you and you somehow listen to this podcast, I'm very sorry.
We'll send you a free koozie.
On that note, my song for this week, I got a chance to see the King, George Strait, in concert on Saturday, which was awesome. And so, Carrying Your Love With Me by George Strait. He crushed it. By the way, 71 years old and still looks like phenomenal. Like, I hope that I look like George Strait when I'm 71. He's amazing.
Is he that old?
That's what
Yeah.
that was what I was thinking of. I was like, I didn't realize he was 71. Man.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good for
King
him.
George.
It's the whole COVID chunk, because the
Yeah,
correct age in your mind is like
It's
68.
3 years. Yeah, it's 3 years off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's 70. He's 71 now. Yeah. May 18th, 1952.
The man.
The myth.
Legend.
The legend.
All right.
Okay.
Music.
Yeah, here we go. Let's go on to sports.
Sports.
Let's talk about baseball. First of all, I had to yell at Brad Paisley last night because he was doing an interview in the middle of the Dodgers game, and they went full screen on Brad Paisley as the play at the plate was a ball just got smacked, and it was like, is it going to be a home run or not? And they, in the process of the ball being in the air and the outfielders running to the back edge of like the warning track, cut to a full screen photo of Brad Paisley. I'm like, Brad, get off of my television. I bet on this game. I need to see if this is a home run or not. He responded he thought it was funny, but I just was like, of course they are showing Brad Paisley, who, by the way, no shame in this, because these are his ball teams and he is like notoriously diehard about his ball teams. But I do find it funny that he is a West Virginia fan and a Dodgers fan, like almost as far away from each other as you could possibly get geographically.
Yeah. It's like being a Rays fan and an Oregon Ducks fan.
Yes. That might be
I
the
see
only
you.
way to be any further away.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But if we are going to do this, let's do the quick MLB update. How's Tampa looking, Rye? How are they looking?
Doing great. 6-3 road trip on this 9-game swing, winning series over the Astros, the Yankees, and the Detroit Tigers. And now they're coming home to play the woeful St. Louis Cards and the Cleveland Guardians, who were sellers at the deadline. So we're looking good on our bets so far, CY. Just
Are
letting
you?
you know. I already got the jersey in production. We're working well. So jerseys, I already gave a call
Hey,
to some folks.
can I-
It's in the works.
Can I wait? First of all, so what was the bet exactly?
Who wrote it
Finishing with a winning month, I believe.
Yeah. So what are they for the month, Ryan? Not the last 9 games.
Well, for the month, your Tampa Bay Rays,
They're not
for the month of August are, let's see, 1, 2, 3 and 2.
down? A perfect 500 again, almost.
I was like, you're burying the lead so hard.
Three
You're
and
like,
two.
just don't look at that man behind the curtain. Don't worry about that guy. So we'll see how this plays out in the end. They do look better. They do look like they have.
They do. They do.
returned
Their
to-
offense has returned. I do want to make one note because I did think this was pretty cool. I think one of the coolest things in sports is the call up to the big leagues. Like, it's just one of those things that it just never gets old to me. And the Rays' number 3 overall prospect, Curtis Mead, got a call up. His family is from Australia. They made a 30-hour trip to witness his first MLB start in Detroit on Saturday. Pretty awesome, pretty incredible. That is something that will always, and this is obviously a different circumstance than most call-ups, but it is something in baseball that will never get old. I love it, and it's really cool. So congratulations to Curtis Mead, his family, and all the players that get to call up to the big leagues, because it is definitely a very monumental moment in their careers. So pretty cool.
Can I also bring up something that I find interesting from the opposite end? Players that have been in the league for a very long time. I don't know if it was just a slow news day or what, but they were like, ooh, oh man, Verlander struggles with command and first start for blank. I'm like, look, he just switched teams in the middle of the season and he had a bad first start. Like, he's having to deal with a move again, probably didn't sleep, didn't have his normal schedule on, and your headline is he struggles with command and first start for this team, like he hasn't already been playing this year.
Which, by the way, he goes back to the Astros, a team that he won 2 World Series with, and tries to go for a third with. So, yeah.
Pretty
cool moment.
Come on, guys. Like, that should be the headline. It's like, do we think Justin Verlander can win a third with this team? Instead, they're like, ooh, struggle with his command.
By the way, we have officially reached the point in the sports calendar where baseball no longer dominates, because NFL preseason is officially here. So we have reached football season.
Yes, we are putting together the fantasy football team for this year. Very, very excited about this. I am so ready for football like I've never been before. I don't
Again,
know about you guys.
We need a penalty this year. Someone needs to do something for losing, so everyone pays attention to the fantasy football
You
league.
gotta be in Porter's kennel for an hour on Demumbrian if you lose.
Just you have to dress up like.
Oh
a
my
dog
God,
and
that
do a
is
kennel.
actually pretty funny. That's actually pretty funny.
No, we're not doing that.
Can I
We're not
fit in the
doing
kennel?
You
Oh, yeah,
can.
this
Oh,
one.
I can fit in it.
Yeah, same.
Also in baseball, what about the Tim Anderson and
Oh, the
Ramirez fight?
The fight was great.
That was great. That was a great
That is
fight.
the sloppiest, luckiest punch ever, and Tim Anderson deserved every single bit of that because he threw the glove down, put his hands up, protect yourselves at all times. Once you throw the hands up, man, like he even got in like the little boxing stance. I was like, what are you doing?
He did.
Like, that
He
is
was like,
not-
his pole just went up and like,
He gave him time to get set and get prepared. And that, like, if you go back and watch it, Look, he got him right on the button, and it dropped him. But that was a terrible punch. Like, his wrist was bent. And so, I mean, like, shout out, by the way, because I don't even know the other guy's name that was involved. That
Jose Ramirez.
So Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez.
See, it's great because you only remember the name of the guy that got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was wild. Somebody had posted online on X where they were like, only during the night of the most hyped fight between one of the Paul brothers and a Diaz brother, the best punch of the night was thrown on a baseball field.
By the way, can hockey allows fighting? How cool would it be if baseball not only allowed steroids but now allowed fighting? Oh boy,
my gosh.
that would be.
No,
Dude.
because they would bring out the bats and
I have sat with friends of mine that grew up playing baseball, and the unwritten rules talk is it would never happen because they already think it's totally fine for you to throw 90 miles an hour at someone's head with a baseball, but it's
that's not okay.
horrible form for you to charge the mound with a bat.
Yeah, that'd be bad. I do miss crash plays at home. I don't like that that's been thrown out with the...
It's kind of the same thing as the punt returns and stuff, or kickoffs.
Yeah. My favorite headline, shout out Annie Agar on Twitter. Tim Anderson continues to struggle to hit this year.
I saw that.
Oh, that's great.
It was very well done. Very well done on her part.
Great.
Okay, so going to the NBA and WNBA, 2 points of notice. One, Sabrina Ionescu breaks the Liberty 3-point record.
Let's go.
And not just broke it, like shattered it. She just like kept draining threes that game. It was awesome.
if you guys don't know, Sabrina was our very first guest
Yeah.
on the podcast.
And we were her first interview after being picked
Which
number
is
one.
crazy. It was like, how did we get
Just
the
great
very
timing.
first interview? That was great.
You
By the way,
guys can
she's
go back and listen.
I still follow her on IG, and we'll like go back and forth every now and then. And she listens, like she loves listening to our podcast. So big fan of Sabrina.
Well, big shout out to her because that is a huge milestone.
Sabrina, if you're listening, I do wear a size 13. I would be happy to wear your shoes. Happy to wear your shoes on the court.
You'll crush.
Hit me up. I got you.
You need them after the seeing you walk in this morning. You're limping a little.
It's not the shoes' fault. It's the rest of me that's falling apart.
Oh man! All right. So Anthony Davis, 3-year extension. What do you think about this?
Making him the
The
highest
largest per year, right? Yeah.
largest per year, the highest paid player in the NBA per year.
Per year, which is a very important distinction.
Yes, it's not the
What
largest.
is it? 60 some odd?
68.
60 some odd million?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
68 million a year. Which I think 2013 the salary cap for a team was 68 million. Just for perspective in the last 10
Jesus
years.
Christ.
So, someone was going to pay him. Do I think it doesn't matter. These guys are going to make this money from some team. Do I think it was smart for the Lakers to do it? I guess. We've also seen people just sign these big deals and ask for a trade immediately. So I think we'll see after this year. I think he'll play this year. We'll see what LeBron does. We'll see what the Lakers do. I don't know if he's a Laker for life. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know anything about the NBA right now. There's so much parity and so much I don't know. Cade Cunningham on the select team just beat the crap out of our FIBA team, single-handedly, and he had a terrible season last year. So if he's going to be incredible, Detroit might be good, which then that changed. It just, I don't know. It's a great time for basketball. It's a lot of money. $68 million a year. A year.
That is a lot.
I don't know what the breakdown is, but it's like
a lot of money.
$700,000 a game.
That's a lot.
Jesus.
It's a lot of money.
Probably more because they'll play less games. It's Anthony Davis.
Jesus. Josh.
It's like 1.2 a game.
Oh my God. All right. Let's go to NFL. Let's just get after it. Anyone surprised that it's only a 3-game suspension for Alvin Kamara?
No. Right now, they're just hammering on the players that are betting. That's what you see more suspensions from.
So 3 games with Jamison Williams as well. So I guess that is the new, like, is that the floor, I guess, for betting?
I think so. It seems like that's kind of the...
But this had nothing to do with gambling, by the way. This was
No,
No,
this
no,
didn't
no.
have anything to do with
So
that at
just-
all. Yeah.
For
No,
the
I'm
record.
just saying, like, you've been seeing more and more, like, harsh reprimanding towards the gambling lately. Like, there's every other day, I feel like there's a new player getting punished for gambling.
By
Because
the way,
another
I will
one
say
just
this
did the
too.
other day.
Or you can be punished for just being a running back for the Colts.
That's also true.
Facts.
I don't believe video of this incident came out. If there was accompanying video, I do believe this would have been longer than a 3-game suspension, because the reaction usually to video or like being able to actually see said incident usually results in a longer suspension.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Do we think that affects fantasy drafts at all? Is
No,
anyone
it's
drafting
only-
Alvin Kamara in the first 6 rounds?
Look.
So yeah, for sure people would.
Are you sure?
Yeah, one of the best pass catching backs in the league. Like I mean,
Ryan, it's not it's not 2014.
Yeah, buddy. It's
Yeah.
he's still consistently been a top like
Nope.
3-round
Hasn't
pick.
played,
Wrong.
I feel like.
No. Look this up.
Let me see where he is in fantasy rankings. I'm curious where he is in fantasy rankings this year.
Yeah, but while you're at it, look up Dalvin Cook. They're probably pretty close to each other.
Dalvin Cook doesn't have a team right now, technically.
Neither does Zeke. That's so weird.
It is, but it's not.
I get it. I know we talked about it last week. It's just it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that, like, Zeke, who was a perennial first round fantasy running back,
He's
can't even
gone.
get on a team of like the Panthers or something.
So these rankings are updated, obviously post suspension. So you're missing 3 games, but he is the 69th ranked player overall in the top 200 in fantasy. But
Nice.
Yikes.
that's top 200 like overall in PPR,
So that
which is
is
kind of
basically
spicy.
if you're doing a 10-team league, that if he's ranked 69th, you're almost in the 7th round for someone that you
Yeah.
And now he's got
Yeah.
a 3-game suspension.
So that probably pushes him back a little bit more.
Can you name the top 3 in terms of rankings for running backs heading into the fantasy football season this year? Because I find that to be kind of interesting.
Well, one of them's definitely Nick Chubb. One of them is probably what are you looking at, Ryan? Because you're shaking your head.
This
but you
is the
have to-
this is the consensus among CBS fantasy.
No, you have to remember CBS fantasy. Are they talking about PPR? Or are they talking about just a purely rushing league? Because that does.
This
make a
is
difference.
PPR, non PPR.
So let me guess.
Changes it slightly.
CMC's up there somewhere.
Number 1. Yep.
Yeah. See that's the kind of thing that's like dumb as hell though.
Wait,
'Cause
who'd you just say?
It's CMC. Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
Is injured more than half the season.
He was like, I played the whole season last year. I'm like, one time.
Congrats.
When you're drafting for fantasy football, it's always like the 1 year that you go, I don't trust that guy.
When he got
And plays
traded,
the whole
though,
season.
he won people a lot of leagues last year. When he got traded, like he actually won people in a number of leagues with how well he played down the stretch. But Austin Eckler is number 2, and then your boy Bijan Robinson for the Falcons is number 3.
And that is because he is a rookie. I will be very interested to see how that goes. Yes, there is tremendous upside, and obviously, being a Longhorns fan, I am a huge fan of Robinson. I think he will step in and fill the void for the Falcons very nicely. I think he is the prototypical back for that team. That being said, he still has to prove it, man. Like, I mean,
Also, they had a great back. Wasn't it Algier or whatever? Algier? Do you know what I'm talking about? He led the league in like most yards per run last year, but that's fine. I'll see myself out.
I just don't know.
Tyson Algier. Yeah, you weren't watching a lot of Atlanta Falcons games.
I was
That's so
not.
weird.
I was not.
I think I broke Ryan.
Tyler Algier.
Yeah.
Algier.
Yeah, that guy.
Let me take a stab at this. Tyler Algier.
Algier.
Oh, yeah,
Algero?
please do a round of spelling with Haley the Bear. Please attempt to
All right,
spell
that's
his
coming up.
last name.
That we will do. We will do a preseason round of the spelling bee with the Bear coming up.
No, do it right now. I just this
Oh.
one. Just this one. All right, so try your
Okay.
best to pronounce his last name, by the way, Ryan.
Oh, this. I think there's a better one we should do with her. Cordell Patterson.
Cordero Patterson.
Well, his last name easy.
No,
P-A-T-E-R.
we're
Nope,
talking about the
nope,
first name.
It's
Nope.
CORDERL.
Cordero.
I can't remember. I think it's two
Cordero.
L's. I think it's two L's.
So you're at R.
I'm trying to think
I'm
if there's
surprised she's
another
gotten
R.
this far
So-
and has not missed a letter yet.
So what?
R
Are you going to the mall later?
E
E.
L L E.
I don't know that counts. We helped her a lot on
That
that one.
counts. That counts. We're counting.
Wow, that is the first spelling bee victory for Haley the Bear
not the
of the NFL
first.
football season. Congratulations! Well,
Of the, of
this
the
year.
season.
Oh.
Of this year. Yeah.
Oh.
Come on. You're starting strong. You're starting
Nice
strong.
job. Do you want a second one?
The
Let's, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Algerian.
whoa, let's not get crazy.
We'll save it for next week.
We'll save for next week. Yeah. Finally, before we get off of sports, I do want to. I know we didn't really talk too much craziness about sports yet, but oof. World Cup exit for the women.
Oh, I thought you were saying oof to the Pac-12. Both of those could be collective oofs.
Yeah, the one I'm referencing is a little more of an oof, though.
Yeah,
Like there was some
kind of. I mean,
weird stat
kind of
where
expected.
I don't know, man. Like they didn't score in like the last 230 something minutes.
Yeah,
Jeez.
238
They
minute
played.
goalless drought. That's their longest in a World Cup.
Yikes.
That speaks to a much larger problem than they had a bad year. There's something else going on there.
I do not watch a
Really
lot of
young.
soccer. However, friends of mine and people on the crew that do have mentioned that there's some questions about the coaching and some of the substitutions, and that could be contributing to part of the problem. But also, the dominance is sort of over because now the U.S. women's team has inspired the world to grow female soccer throughout the world. And so you're seeing more parity between the teams, which is ultimately good for the sport. It really is.
I don't. That sounds fantastic on its face. I think this is more of a problem with the U.S. women's team than it is the world at large. I agree. I've heard the same rumors about coaching and substitution issues, and obviously injuries are a thing that always comes into play. But 238 minutes is a long time to go without a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what they do in the next several years and how they continue to overhaul that for hopefully another run. So, and yes, RIP the
Pac-12.
the whole
Pac-12.
West Coast.
The
Oh
big-
my God.
Yeah, I just
The Big 12
it is
back.
Big 12 baby is back. UCF for
they're
season of the Big
losing
12.
Oklahoma and Texas. They had to do something.
That's fine. I am very excited to go visit Tempe and Arizona State and Arizona, not necessarily Utah very much. However, those three teams are joining the Big 12 in 2024.
Utah's amazing.
What? I like to drink during my football games.
You still can. No one's stopping you.
Oh yeah, that's BYU. That's true. Never mind.
okay.
Which is also in the Big 12.
So describe exactly what happened to the Pac-12.
It
So,
imploded.
well, okay. So this is all about everything has to do with TV revenue money. And the Pac-12 had yet to secure a TV rights deal for the conference. And everything is kind of changing into the landscape of how much money can you get per year to be able to pay your member institutions. And, you know, the SEC had already locked up a huge multi-billion-dollar deal with Disney. The Big Ten had locked up a huge multi-billion deal with Fox, NBC, and CBS. and it was the Pac-12 that was looking at negotiating a deal with Apple TV Plus, which is great, but that's not the kind of cash that those legacy types of media are paying. And so those member organizations just decided, you know what, they're skipping town. And Oregon and Washington, by the way, going to the Big Ten, that's huge additions for them. Arizona, Utah, Arizona State going to the Big 12. Basically, the Pac-12, I think what's left, they have to merge with the Mountain West Conference, I believe, is what's going to potentially happen there to create a super conference. But is that going to be enough to save them? I don't know.
The problem there, too, is have you looked at the number that's attached to each one of those teams to leave the Mountain West? Pull it up.
Oh, in terms of dollar figure?
Oh, yeah. No, but pull this up while we're sitting here talking about it. Like, type in, what is it going to cost per team for the Pac-12 to gain teams from the Mountain West?
Oh, it's for exit fees, right? Is what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 34 million.
Oh, yeah.
That face says it all.
Ooh,
Go ahead,
that's a lot
Ryan.
of cash.
Go ahead.
Yeah, 34 million exit
team.
fees to depart by 2024.
To leave
Yeah, per team.
that?
That's
Per team.
But they're not even going to make that if it's just who it is.
a lot of
team.
cash. Wow.
I really
The
want
college
Ryan's
football's
face.
crazy though.
I wanted your face and your reaction. Ooh, as a I need that as a gift,
Yeah.
just in general in my life.
I gotcha.
We have to create that. All right, we're going a little long, so we'll keep it moving here, and we'll go to the movie. Movies.
All
Ryan,
right. Did you watch the movie?
I did. It was actually really good.
did you watch it?
I did.
Really good.
Really?
I watched it last night.
Hey,
So did I.
Yay!
We did it, guys! Finally.
did it.
Hooray!
Watch. I start reading the description. They're like, that's not what I watched. Yeah.
You're like, wait, what did you? What is this?
Flamin' Hot.
I wasn't. Wait. I wasn't supposed to watch
No,
Framin' Hot.
Stop it.
Was it?
Stop it.
Flamin' Hot, PG-13, 2023. It's a drama. 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, lower than I expected.
Ryan watched Burn Notice again.
Yeah, right. 90% of Google users like this movie. Richard Montañez, the son of a Mexican immigrant, was a janitor at Frito-Lay when he came up with the idea for Flamin' Hot Cheetos. His creation, inspired by the flavors of his community, revitalizes Frito-Lay and disrupts the food industry. Eva Longoria was the director. It's very interesting because number one thing searched was, is the Flamin' Hot movie a true story? And it says yes, according to a spokeswoman for Searchlight Pictures.
There is some pushback from some saying that the timelines do not line up and that Frito-Lay was already in production and testing in the Midwest a spicier version of their snacks, which is not the same as the Flaming Hot, what ended up being the Flaming Hot.
Wasn't that not? That was alluded to in the film, though, was it not? Because they were doing the little.
They left that little breadcrumb in there. But there is some speculation that it makes for a really good movie, but that it's not quite factual to
Exactly
the
what
exact,
happened.
right.
But a spokeswoman for the movie says that it is a true story. So we're going with that. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was fun. I thought it was well shot.
What's the
I
name
was
of
about to ask a
the
question.
main character or the actor? I'm sorry, who played him?
Jesse
Richard
Garcia.
is his name.
Jesse Garcia.
Yeah, Jesse Garcia.
is the actor.
Is this? Am I going crazy here? I've never really heard of Eva Longoria directing films. Is this new?
She's been producing and directing more and more in the last couple of years.
Okay, I find that fascinating, and I think she did a really good job with it. That's
Yeah.
why I was curious because
I really like this
That
movie.
is her directorial debut.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like this movie. I really liked it had a good pacing throughout the whole thing, considering it was like, it's a drama and it's about making Cheetos at a factory. It's like, what can you do to make this movie exciting? And the way they paced it out was really great. The wife was also great in this.
Judy, love Judy. What? Judy's the best. She makes the whole film.
Yes, but I was thoroughly invested in this movie, and I did the same thing after it was over. I was like, so wait, is this really, really true? Because, they add the real guy information at the very end and all that stuff. So I I hope it played out fully like this, whether it did or did not, but it was awesome. And I suggest everyone go watch it.
I cried like a baby when
So did I.
he called
Yes.
her and said we need to buy some more ties.
Yeah.
I cried like a baby. I was
And that was a
unwell.
good that scene did give me chills. I was like, oh, spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
That one really that one really got me.
And I cried with the whole crew clapping for him when he got the promotion and the name on the door. Oh, that was a good moment.
Yep. Anytime it's a rags to riches, someone with a great idea and just kind of sees it through with grit and tenacity, I think is always, it pulls on my heartstrings for sure.
I just thought it was really good. I thought it was very well done. Great movie. Nice
Funny.
change of pace. Very funny in parts.
Yeah.
Reminded me a bit, the cutaways reminded me a bit of the character that's played in Ant-Man.
Oh, Michael Pena's character. Yes, correct.
Just the delivery of
Yeah.
the way that he does that.
100%. Where it's his voice narrating the characters talking.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But very, very, very good one. Definitely think people should watch that. What are we doing this week?
Do you guys like Flaming Hot Cheetos, by
I
the way?
love
I
flaming
love
hot
Flamin' Hot
Cheetos.
Cheetos. You want to attempt that one more time?
I love flaming hot Cheetos.
Not for me.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
It's a combination. It's a little too spicy for me to want to eat more than a bite of them, and then the dust on your fingers, just the neon red, is it's just too much to overcome.
I love it.
For next
I
week,
like when you get the dust on your fingers. It's the best. You get to lick off the
Okay.
flaming hot
Easy.
Cheeto dust.
Easy.
All
Ah.
right.
Easy.
All right.
There you go. You just go finger by finger, licking off all the dust. It's
so weird.
good.
How did that
Right.
work?
Oh
That was
my
so-
God, he's muted.
done.
Oh no, what happened?
It's not even in person to keep yelling over me. That's so weird. He's back now. Look at him. He's back. He's back. What do we think? The Meg 2, The Trench?
I heard it's so bad. I heard this is how someone actually described this movie to me, which you guys know me and you know that I'll be contrarian and watch it just because. But it was described to me exactly like this. Like the original Meg is kind of like a 6 out of 10. He goes, this is like a 0.6 out of 10.
Rough.
Oh, we didn't need another Meg movie. I mean, I'll still watch it, but
No, I didn't
Sharp
even
What about-
watch
what
it.
ab-
I didn't even watch the first
What about
one.
they clone Tyrone? Jamie Foxx's movie on Netflix.
okay. See, I've seen ads for it, but have we heard if it's any good or not? I haven't heard much about it, mainly because any time that I've looked anything up on him, it's been angled towards Strays coming out soon.
Has a 4.2 rating on Google, which doesn't really mean much.
We could do a scary movie.
That's trying to stay away from those.
Why?
Or we can do the not so well opening of Haunted Mansion.
No, I don't want to see that at all.
Wow. Just
Is it?
Barbie is
Ooh.
$1 billion movie, by the way.
Hell yeah, it is. What about
It is.
Gran Turismo?
You know what? I'll do it.
It actually looks pretty interesting.
I'll do it.
The premise is basically
So that by the
And
way,
it's a real-
the
it's a real
premise
story.
is true.
Yeah.
There was a kid who was so good at the video game that
They
he
got-
ended up becoming a
actual driver.
actual driver. Yeah. Now, granted, not like with a controller at the house, like with actual pedals and stuff. But
Yeah. It looked interesting. It opens this weekend.
I could do that.
Well, good news is we can see it on Wednesday too.
Because
All
I
right.
definitely don't want to see Talk to Me. That looks terrifying.
That's exactly
That movie looks amazing, by the way.
that's the movie I wanted to see.
It's like Thing from the Addams Family, but even worse and
Dude,
terrifying.
they said A24 doing this movie, they said it's like the scariest movie of the year.
There's
Yeah, no.
0% of me wants to watch this movie.
Yeah, there's 0% of me that will watch it.
Are you back in town this week?
No, following week.
Maybe the following week I force you guys to all go to watch that movie.
If it's still
That's
out.
just
Oh, buddy, it's terrifying.
in town the weekend of the 18th. If you're forcing me to watch something scary, I'm going to have to see it with other people because I'm definitely not going to
all
see it
right,
by
so
myself.
we have our plan. This week is this
If
week
it's
is Gran
still
Turismo.
out, because
It'll-
they've
it'll
been
be
taking movies out like
It-
that.
No, this one will stay in. for a
It'll
little bit.
last at least 3 weeks.
Gran Turismo. There we go. Although my phone hates trying to spell that. Wow,
Turismo.
it does not like that word at all.
I wasn't.
By the way, I've been doing more deeper dives on this Flaming Hot, and there are so many stories about how it is not all true. So thank you, Josh, for now ruining what was a very, very beautiful story to me that I just was inspired by. Now it's not true.
It can still be a wonderful story that was told to you as a movie
Yeah.
that is somewhat factual. Somewhat. Hey, man.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
In the history of the world, there are times that we tell the story because it makes for a better story than the actual truth. You have heard about Paul Revere writing all night long to tell them that the British is coming, and really it was a slave named Israel Bissell that made the entire track and told Paul Revere, who went then another mile to tell everyone. But we don't tell that because the name Paul Revere sounds like a much more incredible story and like patriotic name. So that's what has been taught to us, and that is what we do because the story is much more interesting than the actual truth. And that's how it is with this movie. It's okay that you can still love this movie. Thank you, Josh Cleve.
Nailed the dismount.
Let's go to the hot take.
All right, we're keeping things super simple this week, guys. Really, really simple. All right? There's just two options here. And really, there's only one option. This is if you had to pick.
Superiority.
Superiority. Red versus white wine. And it's red. Look, it just is. It's more versatile. You can go heavier. You can go with like a really nice oaky cab. You could go with a really light fruity Pinot Noir. You could go, like a blend or low. There are just so many different things you can do. It goes with all kinds of food. You are not limited to having to make sure that it is chilled to drink it like a bunch of white wines are. And I love white wine, but it's red. It just is, guys. It is. It is red.
Is the hot take which wine is better? Is that what the hot take is
it
for this
is.
week?
Which one is better, red wine or white wine? It is red.
I love red wine, and I've always. That's when when I first started drinking wine. I didn't become a wino until like COVID.
Is that still a phrase?
I don't know if
know.
anybody uses that anymore. How does she not know the song
sweater
Undone
song.
by Weezer, but she's using wino in a sentence?
Very confusing.
Anyways, I didn't become one until COVID. Like I hated wine for a very long time. And when I first got into it, it was a Pinot Noir for me. But now over time, I've become more of a white wine person because I love Sauvignon Blanc and I love the tangy, grapefruity part of the wine. And it's lighter and I can drink it longer because it's not so heavy. Like it's just more crisp and I can enjoy it with dinner, even if I'm eating a heavy meal or just sipping like a dessert. I love it. And I still love red wine. But if I'm at the store and I'm like, I want some wine tonight, I'm going to grab white wine.
Brian, where do you land on this?
Well, according to our good friends at brightsellers.com,
Brian, how do you feel about this? Let me go to the internet for my answer.
I have no opinion,
Actually,
but
from
here
you-
is what I think.
from YouGov.com, red wine is the most popular among wine drinking adults, for the record. I will say, I do like both wines. I like that you can pair wines with different types of food that you're eating. However, red wine is superior because you can drink it room temperature. You can drink it chilled, which I actually prefer my red wine to be chilled. You can do it with meats. You can do it with pastas. It is.
You could do that
it is
with
a great
white wine,
date night
too.
wine. It's a great date night wine.
So is
The
white
only
wine.
issue that I have is when you spill it on your carpet, it's very hard to get out.
You
That's the
also
only
get
issue I have
really
with red
bad stains on your teeth and your lips.
I've spilled
Josh?
red wine on my carpet a number of times.
While I would never call myself a wino, I am pretty well versed in the ways of the wine.
So why no eating grapes? And I was like, you have to wait.
You have to wait. Some of it comes down. There are some factors in this. Okay, so first off, my answer is red. Red is the far superior for a lot of reasons. There are some things that I will take into consideration. For example, white wines tend to be more acidic. They tend to be fruitier and brighter tasting. Those are not things that I generally like. However, they pair really well with fish, seafood, etc. And I find my friends that like white wine are usually East Coast or Florida because they grew up eating a lot of fish, a lot of mussels, a lot of oysters, and they like that sort of acid profile for what they grew up eating. I myself am Midwest through and through. I love me a good steak or brisket or whatever, which pairs with a heartier, deeper, redder wine. That's just how I grew up. It's what makes sense to my palate. That being said, reds are more versatile. I feel like white wine is one note. It is a bright, sour-y, acidic note. That's it. And I've had so many reds.
Not unless you're having a Chardonnay. That's buttery.
And that's even grosser. That's disgusting to me.
I'm not a Chardonnay fan, though.
Yeah.
She's not helping her case. This is like when Ryan keeps talking about something and
White wine
goes off the bat.
White wines get fermented in stainless steel barrels. You get red wines in oak barrels and all sorts of like flavors that I tend to like smokier, deeper, darker things. It's more versatile. I don't like cooking with white wine. You only do it with fish. Red wine, you get it in pasta sauces. You get it. It just, For these reasons,
It's red.
it's red. It will always be red. I will always ride hard for basically any cab.
Ride hard, huh?
Ride hard for it. I would ride hard for it.
Thank you, as always, for listening to the Quad with Chris
Riding
Young. Before
hard.
this gets out of hand. Oh, man. It's red versus white wine. Go make your pick in the poll, guys. Thanks for listening, and as always, we'll see you next week. And we're out.